Hello. I'm the Doctor.
11 was another one of my childhood favourites, and fortunately I was able to stay relatively positive towards his incarnation even during my more cynical days as a fan. Something I've noticed and appreciate now is how, despite the changeover of the production team and cast, this era does feel like a natural continuation and even conclusion of the whole Time War arc. As 11 is a Doctor who somewhat wants to make peace with the Time War and his actions, which is something he ultimately gets to do by the end of his run, which means we get to see more of the eccentric elements of the Doctor which were kind of pushed aside in the Davies era in terms of performance and costume. It was nice for them to tone down the aggression and angst somewhat with 11. Oh, some of that rage is still very much present, but overall he's a kinder Doctor than, say, 10. Sometimes the childish nature of 11 can get a bit over the top for me, and in contrast the creepy nature towards and from 11 can really take me out of some episodes, but I wouldn't consider them to be defining features of the 11th Doctor. As the 11th Doctor does have his fair share of very grounded, serious moments that aren't too aggressive, just moments where we get to see a calmer side to his incarnation. So the mix of larger-than-life childhood whimsy and seriousness is handled fairly well most of the time. It's an alternative take on the playing the full act we see in some Doctors, though rather than it be for his enemies, it's a means to keep his friends in a state of relative positivity, only breaking it when things get really serious. Having the darker side of 11 be relatively understated most of the time makes those few moments we do get to see it stand out even more. His kindness towards others and his overall optimistic nature, even in serious circumstances, is really enjoyable to see, especially in his final moments, giving us probably my favourite final scene out of all of the modern Doctor regenerations.
I will always remember when the Doctor was me.